So, a solid rectangular block, okay? So the block in question would be just quick diagram. Just make two rectangles, then link the edges of the rectangles two together, and you get yourself your box, okay? Now, it's 30 by 24 by 15, okay? It's melted down and recast into cubes. What size are cubes? Cubes, anybody? They're the same size every way. So you'll have two, sorry, that's not a great diagram for that. Go again. Cubes would be something like this. Okay, so that's a cube there. Okay. Now the cube is of size 3, 3, 3. All we gotta do is this. You get the volume of the rectangular object using length by width by height. You get the volume of the cube using length by width by height. And to finish this question off is you divide the volume of the big object by the volume of the smaller cube. See how many cubes you can make out of your rectangular block. Okay, that's the first question. Right? Very simple. Gets a bit harder. Everybody right with that last one? Okay. Next one. Solid is in the form of a hemisphere with a cone on top, okay? As in the diagram. The volume of the hemisphere is 18 pi centimeters cubed. Find the radius of the hemisphere. Okay. Now, this is an interesting one. Oh, hemisphere. There we go. Thank you. Alright. What you do here, guys, is underline keywords, okay? Keywords to this question. Just concentrate all your energy on part 1. Volume, hemisphere, 18 pi centimeters cubed, radius. What do you think you're going to do? Volume of a hemisphere formula. Unfortunately for us, there's only the volume of a sphere formula in our tables. How do you turn a sphere into a hemisphere? Half it. So if you half 4 over 3, so you can just do 4 over 3 multiplied by a half, or just divide it by 2, whatever you feel like doing. It's 2 over 3. So what we're going to have is 2 over 3 pi r cubed. What does that equal? Equals 18 pi. You're going to do what we've done the last couple of times. You're going to strike off the pi's and you're going to figure out what the radius is. Is everybody right with that? So you're going to find r. Okay. After you found r, what happens next? You know what r is here. Okay? And you're next asked to find the vertical height. You want to find out this here. Anybody know what to do now? Pythagoras' theorem, okay? Because part 1 gives you the yellow part, and part 2 is asking you for the blue part. You use Pythagoras' theorem, okay? So you basically say the longest side, 3 through 5 squared, equals the radius squared, which you got from part 1, plus x squared. And you're looking to find out what x squared is. Everybody on board with that so far? Okay. Part 3. Show that the volume of the cone equals the volume of the hemisphere. How do you go about doing that? Volume of a cone equals volume of a hemisphere? Volume of a cone formula equals volume of the hemisphere formula. So for part 3, which is here, all you're going to do is volume of a hemisphere is 2 over 3 pi r cubed. And you're going to let that equal volume of a cone, isn't it? 1/3 pi r squared h. Everything you need here has been determined in the other parts of the question. The height answer comes from part 2. The radius answer, the radius of the cone and the hemisphere are the same, aren't they? See the way the cone is here to here? And it matches exactly up on the hemisphere? Means both radius values are the same. Okay, so the radius of the hemisphere, radius of the cone, they're actually the same value. Okay, and you got that value from part 1. Remember I said volume of a hemisphere equals 18 pi? And I just said you put down the volume of a hemisphere formula equal to 18 pi, and you solve what r is. It's like what we did last night. You'll end up having to use the cube roots. Okay? Shh. Okay guys, last one, sorry, close to the end. This solid is melted down and recast into the shape of a solid cylinder. The height of the cylinder is 9. Calculate its radius. So for part 4 guys, and please keep making notes here. In part 4, you're going to use information from part 3. In part 3, you found out what the small cone was. You also found out what the area of the hemisphere was. And what you're saying is you're combining these two objects to make what? Cylinder. So you're answering the questions from last night. And you're going to write down, and what's the formula for a cylinder? Pi r squared h. And you just get the answer for your cone and your hemisphere. Add them together. Okay? And you add them together, and it equals the volume of your cylinder. Everybody right with that? Okay. Actually, I'll just stop for a minute. Just read that for a minute. Tell me what you think. What are you doing, David? Oh, I messed with you. Guys, this question here, 17. Shh. Very easy. Okay? Shh. The sphere, excuse me, golf ball has a diameter of 3. That makes it a radius of 1.5. Each golf ball is in the shape of a sphere. Okay? All you gotta do is use the volume of a sphere. Okay? Easy peasy. Once again, be making notes about this if you're not, like, you gotta have this attempted tomorrow, because it's very obvious. Part 1s are very obvious. Part 2, fair enough, but part 1s are gimmies. You should be getting each and every one of them. Okay? 4 golf balls then. So what you do to your answer from part 1? Okay, not just yet, sorry, my fault, I'm jumping the gun. Each golf ball has a height of 3. What does that mean about the height of your tube, your cylindrical tube? 12. What does it mean about the radius of your cylindrical tube? The diameter would be 3, the radius is 1.5. The balls barely fit in to the tube, okay? So you got all your information for your radius and height of the tube. Done. Find the volume of the tube. It's the volume of a cylinder. Use the formula for the volume of the cylinder. Okay? Part 3. Find what fraction of the volume of the cylinder that is taken up by the 4 golf balls. What you do there is you do 4 times the volume of the golf balls, and then you divide it by the volume of the cylinder. The volume of the 4 golf balls has to be smaller than the volume of the cylinder. What's the reason for that? There's missing, see the little space that's not occupied? That means that the volume of the cylinder has to be bigger than the volume of the 4 golf balls. So you're doing 17, 11, 12, and 11, 12, 13, 17 tonight. And what page is this on? 89, 190. Shh.